Hey, what's up? I'm Sarah. Today I'm going to hopefully help you how to write less cringy lyrics. You're probably thinking, what do you know about writing lyrics? And to that I say, I'm also the author of a published book, Anything, Everything, and Nothing on Amazon. But hey, that's not what this is about. So, step one of how to write better lyrics. What I noticed when reading back my old lyrics is that I used to use a lot of absolutes, like forever, always, never. I was very dramatic, in other words, but I realized that saying I will always love you forever and ever, if you veer away from those, you'll sound less angsty to avoid sounding like Tumblr poetry. The next thing I would say to steer away from is saying things like I love you, because that's cliche. We've heard so many people say I love you before, so why not say it like you make me feel like the permeating warmth of the first sip of soup on a cold winter's day. You see, now that statement has a lot more character and it really shows who you are as a person, rather than just repeating words that someone else has already said. Something you can also do in your lyrics is use more of your senses. You've got 5 of them, probably, and you can use them to say cool things. What you can also do is play with the rhyming schemes. Everything could rhyme, nothing could rhyme, every other line could rhyme. That sentence rhymed right there. And if you're not really into rhyming, you can use assonance, which is like the repeated sounds of words in a sentence. A band who I know that does this really well is the band Pinegrove. So one of my favorite lyrics of theirs is Marigold in the garden, my heart is out in the garbage. And I think the words garden and garbage sound so good used in juxtaposition. That's a fancy word. And you can use like literary devices. I don't know that much about them, but like metaphors and stuff. But what is fun to use is like weird metaphors, like weird analogies for things. Like one that I came up with somehow was I feel like a penny in a bowl of spaghetti. Like what? But like it grabs people's attention. You can also make like an extended metaphor for like the entire song. Like if you wanted to keep referencing like the ocean, you could mention like the tide, swimming, sinking, floating, the waves, all like associated words, and you can even like list them out so you can like get ideas for things like that. What you can also do is you can use like imagery in your songs. Like you can really set the scene to really give the listener or the reader like a clear mental picture of like what's going on, because those can be cool and memorable. You can also experiment with writing long lines and then short lines, because they have like a different effect rhythmically when you put them to music. 2 websites that I think are super helpful for writing songs and getting ideas are just like random word generators online. And then my favorite rhyming website is rhymer.com. I like that better than RhymeZone because you get more variety and like what types of rhymes. And now some ways that like you can get inspiration for lyrics, because I think that's a really big part of lyrics is like the inspiration. It's like, well, where do you find it? One place to look for inspiration is reading other people's lyrics, and you can also realize by doing this that like there are some great musicians with terrible lyrics, so like it can make you feel better in a way. But you can also like write down the phrases that you do really like and analyze why you like them. What I do a lot is like I'll write down the phrases I love, but then I'll use the idea that they were talking about and kind of make it my own and use them in my own songs. You can also get inspiration from like books and movies and just like looking around your room and like people. People's like probably the biggest one for most people, and for me I'd say. You can get inspiration from yourself, like learning things about yourself, writing about the ways that you are and the ways that you see the world. Like that's cool. Like write a song about that. When you start noticing like what inspires you, then you can kind of like seek out those things and like get inspired by being inspired. Yeah, whatever you're passionate about, that's probably where you should go to look for inspiration. And now something that I think is really important is to like be in tune with your emotions. It's hard to write a song if you don't really know how you're feeling. You can keep a journal to like journal about how you're feeling, because then when you know how you're feeling, it'll just be easier to access and to write about, and you'll be more comfortable with writing about it. Because I know like a lot of people, like they don't want to get too deep too fast, they don't want to reveal themselves. When you get comfortable with it and you start to know yourself, like that's when you can really like allow yourself to express yourself. And something that is also important in all of this is to just like don't judge yourself. It's okay to write bad lyrics, just like not judging yourself when you do. Because like for every bunch of bad lyrics, like you'll get some good ones in there, so like you might as well keep writing. And if you're not writing because you're like, you feel discouraged, you're not writing, and like you should write. Writing is great. Have fun with it. That's so important. So I hope you do have fun with it. I hope you write some banging lyrics, straight bars. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Go write some good lyrics. You've got it in you.